I'm James Cole, and I'm here at ICANN 65 in Marrakesh, Morocco, with Janis Karklins, Chair of the Expedited Policy Development Process on the Temporary Specification for GTLD Registration Data, or EPDP Phase 2. Janis, what has the EPDP team been focusing on during its Phase 2 work?
So, in reality, we're working to develop a standard which would allow requesters to access and data possessors disclose private data, which would be in full compliance with the GDPR requirements. And also we're addressing issues that have not been finalized during the first phase, so all that would constitute the scope of our activities.
What have you been working on during ICANN 65 in your sessions?
Look, we're at the beginning of the process, and of course, as it happens, at the beginning you always try to project and develop architecture of the process. And this is what we did in first month of our activities. Now we're starting to address substantive issues, and we're starting to work on building blocks for that standardized system. So it is very difficult to say how we will get to the end, because it is a little bit of we're learning by doing. We tried several approaches during the online meetings that we have every week, and seems to me that finally we have come to the right approach, which seems comfortable to all team members. We're using a specific case in order to do a deep dive on all the elements or all the aspects of practice that could be put in place in order to be GDPR compliant from one side, and from other side we hope that this deep dive will provide us with information on potential trends that would then be transcribed as a policy proposal.
Any other important topics you want to highlight?
Look, I think this is multi-dimensional issue that entails different aspects of the process, and we need to find consensus on all those dimensions. Basically, we're working on developing probably multi-dimensional matrix, which then need to be adaptable to every situation that may come in the future. Because today we're using GDPR as a basis of our conversation, and we do not know when and in which country another privacy law may be adopted, and then ICANN would need to be compliant with that. So therefore we're trying to work out a standard which would be then adaptable to every real situation also in the future. So what are these aspects? So first of all, identify who would be requesters of information. What would be legal basis of that request? What would be legal basis on disclosure of information? What safeguards should be put in place, making sure that the liability does not kick in? And of course, we need to look the issues from different perspectives, because from one side, you have people who argue that protection of privacy and private data should prevail over every other consideration. From other side, you have people arguing that whose data is extremely important and useful for securing stability and security of internet, and we need to reconcile those two maybe contradicting or competing opinions and come up with a workable solution. Because again, we can work on theoretical solution, and if that is not workable, basically it's waste of time and opportunity.
What is the ICANN organization's relationship to the unified access model?
This is one of options that might be as an outcome of the process, but not the only one. So therefore, for the moment, we're not looking specifically to unified access model, which has been proposed as one of the options. We're going slightly broader. We're talking about a standardized system, which would consist of different building blocks, and then we would see how those building blocks would fit together, whether that would be standard which would be compulsory for everyone, or that would be a standard which would be proposed for use on voluntary basis, whether that would be used by GTLD registrars and registries, or CCs also would use it if need be. All those questions will be answered sometime at the later stage of our work.
What are the next steps after ICANN 65?
Online meetings, but of course, no. And more seriously, of course, we need to try to progress as quickly as we can, because there is a high expectations in the community that some substantive progress will be demonstrated by November meeting. Again, I do not know whether we will succeed with any initial report. Remains to be seen, but certainly my aim is to make sure that we demonstrate substantive progress that we could also present during the November meeting to the community.
Well, thank you for joining me today, Janis, and I really hope the rest of your meeting is fruitful and productive.
So, thank you very much. See you in November.